Yes, thank you, President. Well, Mr. President, the first time that I went to your country, to Bucharest, was in December 1989, in one of those old airplanes of Tarom. I have to tell you, it was a torture. No legroom. It was a little bit like flying with Ryanair today, at that time. And for me, it was the first time that I went to a communist country, because before the fall of the Berlin Wall, for a liberal, we were not in fact allowed to go there. And there in Bucharest, I remember it very well, I met the historical leader of the Romanian liberals, Radu Anton Campeanu, in an empty building, in an empty office, with one table and one chair. He was just returned from exile, from Paris, in December '89. And when I came back here, what I did was immediately send a truck full of office furniture, computers, and a few months later these capitalist gifts were destroyed by a furious mob of miners, the henchmen of Iliescu. So I had to send a second truck to Romania to help him build up his liberal and democratic movement. Not only office furniture, not only computers, but also a radio station. Material for a radio station. That became one of the first private radio stations in your country, Contact, Radio Contact, with the same name as in Belgium. The reason why I'm telling you this story is very simple, because I'm today, so many years later, nearly 30 years later it is, again worried of what is happening in Romania. First of all, these dubious reforms were undermining the judiciary. I said that to your Prime Minister here a few weeks ago. The same on the weakening of the criminal code, undermining the fight against corruption. Then, the discovery of secret protocols, what I have never heard about in any other country, between the Secret Service at the one hand and some parts of the judiciary at the other hand. Well, I have to tell you, my plea to the Prime Minister, but also to you, because you have to work together in this respect, is certainly not to follow that path in the near future, and certainly not to follow the examples of countries like Poland and Hungary, who have engaged themselves on an illiberal path, I should say, towards autocracy. And I think that only a good cooperation between you as the President of the Romanian Republic and the Prime Minister and the government and the majority can avoid this. And I think there is huge support in this House to support you in this endeavour. So what we need, I think, exactly 30 years after this Romanian revolution on the European level, is exactly what is also at stake in Romania. It will be, in 2019, a fight of liberal democracy against the tendency in a number of countries, unfortunately mainly Eastern European countries, to go the way of illiberal autocracy. It will be a fight from tolerance against racism, a fight from openness against protectionism, and a fight of all the, I should say, true Europeans against all the kinds of narrow-minded nationalists and populists that we have seen in the four corners of Europe. And I think that Romania, as it was the case in 1989, has to play an important role in this fight, to win this fight in 2019. And that gives me the possibility also to come back to the debate on the future of the Union. If there is one real reform to be made in the future of the European Union, President, that is to get rid of the unanimity rule in the European Union. Look again to the Khashoggi case that we have today. Saturday, all ministers of foreign affairs with Mogherini produced what? A weak condemnation, a soft declaration, instead of common action, what is impossible because of this unanimity rule in foreign affairs. What is needed is not a soft declaration or a weak condemnation. What is needed is a ban, a European ban of export of weapons towards Saudi Arabia. That is needed, and that can only be achieved, and that is what I want to hear in this debate about the future of Europe, if we get rid of the unanimity rule. If all member states, and I think Romania is ready to do so, if we can get rid, and Romania is ready to do so, of this veto power, this veto right that all member states still cherish, but what is in fact the real obstacle to have a refundation of the European Union. And I'm pleased that Romania and the President will be on our side in this fight to do that reform. Thank you, President.